Hey guys, thanks for checking me out today. I was out looking up parts, chasing parts, talking to people, trying to figure out how I can get this going. And I knew this was going to be happening because towards the end of last season, my belt started to look a little, had a crack in it. My serpentine, or I should say my deck belt. Serpentine, I'm thinking about my car. But I let it go. But now's the time there when stuff's going to start breaking. It's been working hard for the last month, 5 or 6 weeks, and every day using it to the maximum that you can get out of it. So I got my deck belt. It's 165 inches long for my Toro, so it's a monster. I knew it was going, and I kept putting it off till tomorrow, thinking tomorrow would never come. But unfortunately, tomorrow came, but tomorrow came in a bad way where it cost me money. It didn't come in a good way where I made money. So I knew Saturday that I had this belt problem. My nephew borrowed my machine to cut his property, and he called me. So as soon as he called me, I knew something was up and it wasn't going to be good. And then he just told me that the belt broke. But like I said, I can't get mad. I knew it was going to happen. This particular belt is 5/8 by 165. If you guys could do some research, try to find out what size belt you take, because a lot of times you'll find the part number, but nobody will tell you the actual measurement. Sometimes you can get lucky and go to a parts store, like an auto parts store, and they might have a belt if you got the exact measurements to get you by. It's not as good as the original Toro belt, but it'll get you by. You might get, maybe half the life of it, maybe 3/4 of the life. It's hard to say. But that belt right there, if I would have ordered it on Saturday, I would have had it on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I was hoping that my local shop that I bought parts from and bought my lawnmower from 3 years ago, I would have the part in stock, so I wasn't too concerned. I did a little research on the part number and figured out the length, measurement, and that of it. I rolled the dice. I called the parts store this morning. They said they never sold one of those belts since they've had that machine in stock, which is cool. Everybody got sick, and in the last 2 or 3 years, I don't know if people were updating their inventory. Many people weren't spending money. So that forced me to play a different card. So I had to take out my X Mark. My Z Master has a 4-foot deck, 48 inch. My X Mark has a 72 inch cut. It cuts 6 feet at a time. It's a lot faster. It's got a nicer deck on it for hiding grass, but that's the Laser Z. That's the top of the line. My Z Master does do a good job. I'm not complaining about that at all. I love it. I believe in Z Masters and X Marks. So, like I said, if I would have called Saturday and ordered it, I ended up getting it through Amazon. It was $115. It was an aftermarket belt, which won't be as good. The actual Toro belt was $150. And the quickest I can get it here would be Thursday, unless I wanted to overnight it. But I'm not going to pay the same amount of money to overnight it of $120. So right now I'm at the mercy of the postman, whether it be Amazon, UPS, FedEx, or the post office. I'm at their mercy. So they said sometime on Thursday, so I might as well say that I'm not getting my machine back till Friday, just planning on it. So I'm in a little bind. I went and I took my X Mark 72 inch, and I got an older trailer that'll fit on an older 6x12, because my current trailer is a 5x8 that I use, and it's not big enough. So I had to rewire all the lights today, so I was doing that. That took about maybe, I didn't rush, so maybe 2 hours. I was, I was past a bad day already. So those are just some things you got to consider and plan for. I'd recommend that every time you, grease your machine or look at it, blow the grass off, just take a peek at the belt. See if they're frayed anywhere, because if they're starting to fray or they're going to go, the best idea would be to have an extra one. If you can afford to get one and find one, that's the next question, to find it. Because back in the day, after my original Z Master broke, I got by for like 5 years with 2 different Lescos. And one of the Lescos ate a belt every 2 months, no matter what part of the season it was. But I was able to find that belt cheap, and it was an aftermarket belt, so maybe that was part of the problem. But like I said, she liked belts. So if you guys got some older machines that you're going to buy, anything 2 years, 3 years, or older, I would recommend getting a belt and just keeping it off to the side. It's kind of like having snow plowing parts, the basic parts like hoses and fittings, stuff like that, and a transmission fluid to put in the pump. So those are some things to consider. And I would consider a rain day a lot better than a breakdown day, because on a breakdown day, you're aggravated, you're frustrated, you're chasing parts. I talked to many people at parts stores, and I would have been better off at some of the parts stores just to go in there and work on a computer at their store, and I would have got more answers out of it doing it myself. But that's okay. So I think at least if you got a rain day, you could send your guys or yourself. You can go do a mulch job, or do some maintenance, or just have the guys come in. If you got a couple guys on the crew, maybe buy them lunch and just have some fun. Because if you keep your employees happy, they're going to come back to work. So those are just some thoughts that I got for you guys. So, plan on a breakdown day. It's going to happen. I lost some money, but I got my big lawnmower to go. Some of the backyards, probably 40% of my customers got gates on them, but they're at least 4 foot big. So those ones I'm just going to have to skip till I get my lawnmower back. I'll deal with them next week, the high backyards. And if the customers want to complain and cut the backyard, well, what can I do? Just try and do the best that I can. So thanks for checking me out. I got more advice and more videos. If you guys got any comments, feel free to ask me down below. I try to answer all the questions. You guys have a great day. No matter what happens, be positive. Because you know what? Tomorrow's going to be a better day. Thanks for checking me out. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.